level, he gives workshop on CCFMC. He gives workshop to the Franciscan novices in Nairobi. He is a counseling psychologist certified by KIWD. He has BA, a Bachelor of Art in Counseling from Mount Kenya University. He has a master's degree in the same field from Tangasa University College, and he is currently pursuing a PhD in counseling psychology at the Catholic University of Eastern Africa. Brother Pius is a lecturer and university counselor in Tangasa University College, part-time lecturer at Chemichemi ya Uzima, that is USK, and he teaches integrative counseling. He's a therapist at Marist International University, and he also gives workshop at PSI in the same university. He occasionally lecture at different areas, but his area of interest is working with the youth and research. Brother is going to take us through today's session. Brother Pius, you are most welcome. We are very happy to have you. We are trying to get each congregation represented in someone to give us this reflection. Thank you, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. You can all hear me, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, good, yeah. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to give this presentation. And thank you, Sister Mary, for introducing me. And when I was asked to give this workshop, there are three components were to be captured, and that is Franciscans, COVID, and psychology, which is the area of my profession. And I thought of connecting Franciscan prayer of peace with the stress that are caused by COVID-19. So we're going to look at the stresses that are caused by COVID-19, and after that we'll see how as Franciscans we can apply this in helping people, helping ourselves and the people that we are called to serve to overcome the stress caused by the virus. And I hope you can see the presentation. So just wanted to start with a common saying that we are very common with. We've been hearing from the CS for Health that if we continue behaving normally, this disease will treat us abnormally. So I think that is a common saying that we have been hearing many times. And the disabled participants screen sharing.
Sorry?
My presentation in but relation or connection to COVID-19. And what does it mean? It means that this disease, the COVID-19, requires to behave abnormally while we are normal for our survival. So that's what means that we are normal, but for us to be able to survive, we have to behave abnormally. And that is in terms of social distance, wearing masks, burying loved ones within 1 hour, restrictions of traveling, not greeting one another, maybe before no worship in the churches. So these are abnormalities. For us to be able to survive, this is what this disease has been calling us to be, which is abnormal. What I'm saying is that it's not easy to behave abnormally when you are normal. It's not easy to behave abnormally when you are normal. Uh, Most of you've come and you have encountered people have mental problems and how they behave, how they relate, and all that. And it's not something easy. And that is exactly what the coronavirus, corona disease, or COVID-19 has brought to us. So there's a lot of stress that is coming with this. And we are saying fear and anxiety about a new disease and what could happen can be overwhelming and cause strong emotions in adults and children. So when people start living a different life, there's a lot of stress comes with that. We are creatures of routine. If you look at yourself, what you does every day, when you wake up in the morning after the evening, you may find that most of the times you do things the same way. Maybe you wake up in the morning, you pray, you go to washroom, you go to shower, you go to breakfast, you go to ministry, you come back. So you may realize that you've been doing things in the same way, in a routine way. But now, after this disease came, things seems to have changed, and that has brought a lot of abnormality that we, as Franciscans, we should help ourselves and others to be able to cope with that. And we are saying public health actions such as social distancing can make people feel isolated, a lot and lonely, and can increase stress and anxiety. So we are used to greeting. There are some communities whereby you greet people as many times as possible, but that is not happening at this time. This is making people feel isolated, lonely, and can increase stress and anxiety. If you go to your home and maybe you have not met ones for a long time, then you cannot be able to greet them, you cannot be able to hug them, and all this, it causes stress and anxiety. But we are saying, however, these actions are necessary to reduce the spread of COVID-19. And I think that's one way of coping with the virus, to understand that these measures that we are taking, keeping social distance and all that, they are going to help us to curb the spread of the COVID-19. And coping with the stress in a healthy way will make you and the people you care about and your community strong. So once you'll be able to cope with the stress, which is caused by COVID-19, you'll be able to take care of yourself and the people that you care about, and that will strengthen the community. And stress during an infectious disease outbreak can sometimes cause the following. So these are some of the stresses that comes with the infectious disease like COVID-19. One is fear and worry about your own health and the health of your loved ones. So fear and worry. I know there's a lot of worry. uh, People have been fighting the virus physically. It's a virus that you cannot be able to see. I'm wondering these days people are not coping. When you cope, people feel like running away. You might be having the normal cope, but there's a lot of fear traveling in public means and all that. And also care about the health of of your loved ones. if you have loved ones, especially those who are vulnerable to the virus, the age, maybe the children, those who have chronic conditions like diabetics and all that. So you find there is a lot of worry concerning that. Your financial situation, for instance, if you lost a job or you are no longer working and the children's are at home and all that, this brings a lot of stress, loss of job, and loss of support services you rely on. So all these has predisposed us to stress as a result of COVID-19. Changes in sleep or eating patterns. Uh, Sometimes people don't sleep. Maybe they have nightmares about the virus, and maybe based on what they are listening every day. Eating habits, eating patterns. Maybe there are people who are lacking food. There is no food if they, for instance, they have lost jaws. The others who are overeating, if you are staying in the house, and you stay near the kitchen, you find every time you run into kitchen and eating this and this. So you find maybe obesity, having obesity because you're overeating, for instance. And that's one aspect. When people are stressed, they are maybe sometimes they're likely to lose appetite, or the appetite is likely to increase. Difficulty in sleeping or concentrating, so lacking in sleep, which we call insomnia, and lack of concentration on what you are doing. The other thing is worsening of chronic healthy problems. If, for instance, you have some chronic healthy problems like high blood pressure, diabetic, and all that, and you're under constant stress, that is likely to make your life hard at this period of coronavirus. The other thing is worsening of mental health conditions. People are mentally sick. Uh, uh, they are likely to, because of eating habits and all these situations coming, their mental illnesses is likely to accelerate. The other thing is increased use of tobacco and alcohol and other substances. Um, Many times people use tobacco, alcohol, and other substances to cope with the stress. And because COVID-19 has brought constant stress, many people will be predisposed to alcohol and other substances. And we've been hearing a lot of cases, people arrested from restaurants and the bars and all that. Maybe the reasons why they are doing that, they are drinking, is they're trying to cope with the stress caused by COVID-19. So we need to take care of your mental health, or we need to take care of our mental health. And you may experience increased stress during this pandemic. And I think one way of coping with the stress caused by COVID-19 is to accept, is to accept that yes, you are likely to experience fear and anxiety and all that. And I think once you are able to accept something, you are able to, you have the ability to cope better. And the other thing we need to understand as COVID-19 stresses are concerned is that everyone reacts differently to stressful situations. Where so that will all of us we are responding to stress in a different way, and there are many factors that come into play. And one of it is it depends on your background, where you come in from. For instance, there are people who come from a background whereby their resilience, they are able to cope with the difficult challenges and all that. So those people have been better to cope with the COVID-19 stress compared to the people that they find it difficult to cope with the little stress and all that. The other thing is the social support from their family or friends. the support that you're given by family and friends, it will determine how you're going to cope with the COVID-19. Your financial situation, if you have lost job and everybody is looking at you and you have no job, stress are likely to be more compared to people who still have stable jobs. Your healthy and emotional background, and health is whether you are well. Maybe when COVID-19 came, maybe you are sick. Maybe your immunity system was low. So that will determine how you have the ability to cope with the stress caused by COVID-19. Emotional background, in psychology, there's what we call emotional intelligence. This is the ability to manage your emotions, ability to manage stress and all that. So if you have high levels of emotional intelligence, you're likely to be able to cope with the stress better compared to the people who have low levels of emotional intelligence. And then the other thing is the community where you live. There are communities where if the year, for instance, you might be having COVID-19, they run away from you. They don't want you to come closer to them and all that. The other communities will be supportive and all that, and other factors. So all those factors will determine how each person is likely to cope with the COVID-19. The changes that can happen because of COVID pandemic, the way we try to contain the spread of the virus can affect anyone. So there are measures we are taking, there's measures the government is taking, and all this will determine how we are going to cope with the changes. For instance, if you have been having business, maybe like before during the lockdown, maybe you get things, for instance, from Nakuru or from other counties and they were locked down, you'll be stressed compared to somebody who gets the services within Nairobi or within the county that he is. And all that. If maybe your personal means of traveling, it's easier than a person who is traveling with the public and all that. So the changes that are there are likely to determine how people cope with the stress. People may respond too strongly to stress of crisis, and so we are just looking at some of the people at risk or they are vulnerable in terms of responding to stress caused by COVID-19. And one of it's people at higher risk of severe illnesses. These like older people of any age with certain underlying medical conditions. Because we assume maybe their immunity system is weak and therefore they might be vulnerable. The others are children and teens. They are children and teens. It's very challenging at this time to tell children not to relate. As you remember when you are children, how we used to pray with each other and all that. And now you're telling children not to connect, not to relate. They may not understand. The same thing with the teens or teenagers. Relationships are very important for teenagers. They connect with one another. But at this time, they are supposed to keep social distance. So that may not be easy for them. And that may predispose them to more stress. People caring for family members or loved ones. If you are caring for members and especially those who are infected, that brings a lot of stress. And then frontline workers, and these are health workers who are on the forefront of fighting the coronavirus. Essential workers who work in the food industry. If you're working in the food industry or maybe you're having a business and you're meeting many customers, you don't know exactly where they are coming from. They touch the goods and all that. So that can expose you to stress. People have existing mental health conditions. We presume that these people their immunity system is low, and therefore they are also vulnerable. People who use substances or have substance use disorder, people who are addicted to substance, to alcohol, and all that, it becomes very difficult, especially now, if they are not able to drink and all that, they're likely to have withdrawn symptoms, and which is likely to affect them because their system is not used to that. People have lost their jobs, and the hours of work has been reduced, they have lost their employment and all that. And the people with disability, people who are socially isolated from others, included people who live alone, people who don't have company and all that. And also people cannot be able to access information in their primary language. You can imagine people from the village, maybe when the government is passing information, they use English language or Kiswahili. Maybe they cannot be able to understand that language, but they know there is a killing disease that is going on, and they are not able to understand what is happening. That's going to cause a lot of stress to them. People experiencing homelessness, people have no homes. Street children, one way of coping with the stress. And this is taking care of your friends and your family can be a stressful reliever. When you take care of your friends and family, that's one way of dealing with the stress. But what we are saying, it should be in balance with the care for yourself. As you take care for others, you also need to take care of yourself. And helping others to cope with the stress, such as by providing social support, can also make your community stronger. So we need social support to support one another. During times of increased social distance, people can still maintain social connection and care for their mental health. We are creatures of relationship. We have to connect, and social distancing is making us to not to be able to connect. And so one way of coping with the COVID-19 stress is to look for other ways of connecting. It can either through calls or video chats to our loved ones, and socially connecting with one another will reduce us loneliness and isolation. So we need to find ways of connecting, connecting with others, and that will help us reduce the levels of stress. Uh, other ways of coping with the stress is to know what to do if you are sick and concerned about COVID-19. Contact a healthy professional before you start any self-treatment for COVID-19. So if you're unwell, you need to connect to you need to know where and how to. That is including counseling or therapy. That can be person in person with social distance, or through online services. Like you can have Zoom, like I've been having online counseling through Zoom. So you can still see counseling services from online, and that will help you to be able to cope with the stress. The other thing is to take care of your emotional health. And this is taking care of your emotional health will help you think clearly and react to the urgent needs and to protect yourself and your families. Your emotional health, this is how you are feeling. And we say in psychology that if you have to control what you feel, you have to control what you think. You know, if you have negative thinking, you're likely to have negative emotions. But if you have a positive thinking, you're likely to have positive emotions. So you need to think in a positive way and to make sure that what you are having is positive emotions. Because if you have emotions of sadness, frustration, irritation, agitated, and all these will weaken your immunity system. The other thing is to take breaks from watching, reading, or listening to news stories, including social media. We are getting a lot of information from social media, but we are not able to handle that information. So there are times that we need a break. If you get to news, what are you hearing? Every day, maybe you hear the numbers are increasing, the deaths are increasing, and all that. That will affect you emotionally, that will affect you psychologically. So there are times that you need to take a break, and you need to become aware of yourself. What can I be handle? What can I handle? How much information can I be able to handle? If you're not be able to handle a lot of information, you need to take a break from watching news and watching the information that has come in about COVID-19. The other thing is, of course, to take care of your body. This is to take deep breaths, and this is meditation. You can breathe in out when you are stressed, and you breathe in out. That's one way of dealing with the stress. Or stretch and meditation. The other thing is to try to eat healthy, a well-balanced meal. Remember, during this COVID-19, the virus is targeting the immunity system. And one way of strengthening the immunity system is to eat a balanced diet. Exercise regularly. Don't lock yourself in your houses or communities. Make sure that you exercise. Go for a walk. Do exercise, indoor exercises, and that won't be important. Then the other thing is get plenty of sleep. Make sure that you allow yourself to get enough rest. Then avoid excessive alcohol and drug use. This will weaken your immunity system. Then the other thing is to try to do some other activities you enjoy. This is the time to do your hobbies. What activities do you like doing when you are free? That will be very important and will help you to deal with the stress. Then, as I said before, connect with others. Talk with the people you trust about your concern and how you are feeling. In psychology, we talk of we call it catharsis, and the catharsis is speaking out, is speaking out what you feel. Once you speak out, you feel relieved. So we also need to connect with others, and especially people who care for us. The other thing is to connect with your community or faith-based organization. And while social distance measures are in place, consider connecting online. So, and I've said this through social media, phone, email, whichever way you are able to connect with the others. The other important thing to cope with the COVID-19 stress is to know the facts to help you reduce stress. There's a lot of information that come in from social media, from Facebook, from WhatsApp, and this information we are receiving is not a verified information. So it's good to have the facts, and you have to ask yourself, the information that you are receiving about COVID-19, where is it coming from? Is it verified? And this information that you are receiving, what is it doing to you? What is it doing to you? So you need to verify where you're getting information. And once you have the facts, that will help you to reduce the level of stress. Understanding the risk to yourself and the people you care about can help you connect with others and make an outbreak less stressful. The other thing is to understand that whatever you are doing, if you are keeping social distance, wearing mask, you are doing all this because you are taking care of your loved ones. You're taking care of yourself and for your loved ones. Take care of your mental health. And I talked about how you think is very important. Psychologists, they say you become what you think. yourself. So we have to look at how we think as COVID-19 is concerned. If you are thinking negative, that is affecting your well-being. So you need to check and see, how do I need to think? Because the way you think, it affects your feelings, and it affects how you act. I think I've said that I've talked about the people who are especially likely to be more stressed. These are people who have mental health conditions. Before COVID-19, of course, we know there are people who have been suffering from depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and these people are likely to have more stress compared to the people who are normal before the COVID-19. And then maybe as we go to look at the Franciscan prayer of peace as a way of coping with the COVID-19, maybe to look, we know that all of us, in one way or another, we are either infected or affected, because our life has changed. You know, we are meeting in Zoom. Maybe you can be meeting face to face. So we are either be affected or infected. And I think people have been, there are people who are recovering from COVID-19 and they are ending at home. And it can be stressful to be separated from others if you have or you are exposed to COVID-19. You know, people are isolated, and that's not easy. You feel injected, you feel alone. If, for instance, you are a mother and you have children and they can't reach you, they can't come where you are, that is so stressful. And each person ending a period of home isolation may feel different from it. So people have different feeling. And people who have maybe recovering from COVID-19, they are going through emotional reaction, which may include mixed emotion, including relief. If you are if you have recovered from COVID-19, you may have a mixed feelings. At the same time, you will be feeling good that now you are healed, but at the same time, you're still recovering from the stress. Fear and worry about your own health and the health of your loved ones. So you also have fear and worry that your loved ones can be infected and all that. And stress from the experience of having COVID-19 and monitoring yourself. If you are sick, for instance, you're recovering, you have to monitor yourself and you have to be monitored by others, which means that you have no freedom. You have no freedom. That causes a lot of stress. Sadness, anger, frustration because friends or loved ones are fears of getting the disease from you. If people fears you and people don't want to come around you, definitely that will cause stress to you. Guilt about not being able to perform normal work or parenting duties. If you are recovering or you are sick of COVID-19, you're not able to do your work. For instance, if you're a parent, it will be very difficult now. You cannot be able to parent your children or give direction to them. That comes with a lot of stress. So those are challenges, sources of stress for COVID-19, and some of the strategies on how you can cope with it. Now, I just want us to look at Peace Prayer of St. Francis as a way of coping with COVID-19. And because of this abnormality, living abnormally and changing our way of life, social understanding and all that, this has destabilized our peace. People don't have peace within themselves. People don't have peace with each other. When you meet somebody, you fear and all that. So there is no peace. So and this has a lot of impact on ourselves. If we don't have peace in ourselves, we cannot be able to give peace to others. Therefore, as Franciscans, we need to bring peace to others. We need to help others to our peace. But what we are saying, if we are to help others to our peace, that peace must start with us. Many times we say we cannot give to others what we don't have. Therefore, we need to have peace within ourselves so that we may be able to help others to have the same peace. And we can be instrumental of peace by helping people to accept the changes that are posed by the pandemic, to come in terms with the changes. Once you accept the changes, you are able to cope better. You're able to cope better, and that will bring peace to you. And then where there is hatred, let me sow love. We know that as a result of this virus, there is a lot of hatred that has emerged, and this hatred towards the coronavirus, some call the virus Satan, devil, demonic, and all that. We know there is a lot of bad things that has been done by police, a lot of killing, and the beating and all that, and the people have hatred towards police, hatred towards the government for putting measures of curbing the virus. Some people are not being happy with the government because of the measures that they are putting, especially the measures affecting you direct. Hatred towards partners being around, or your spouse. People were not used to stay together in their home every day. Since morning now to the evening, people are going to work. So seeing your partner or even the children are around, that has caused a lot some hatred. Hatred towards social media based on the information that we are receiving. Hatred towards God for not eliminating the virus. People would wonder, is God in control? Why is he not eliminating this virus? And hatred towards the employers. People have lost jobs, and they are not happy with their employers. So how do we as Franciscans show love? So show love by taking care of ourselves. So we can show love by taking care of ourselves and others, and by not wanting to infect them. That's one way as Franciscans we can show love. The other thing is to have positive attitude towards the government, that it is protecting the people from the pandemic. If we have that attitude, positive attitude, that government is doing what is good, that will be a one way of showing love. The other thing is seeing the partner or children around as an opportunity to bond emotionally, and that's the change of the world view. If you see your partner is around your children, that's one way of bonding. So you take it in a positive way. The other thing is to see God still in control, despite of the spread of the virus, that God is still in control. By the fact that the virus is spreading doesn't mean that then God is not in control. And to empathize with the employers whom their institution and the companies are severely affected. The companies are not getting income and all that, and sometimes they have been forced to send the employees to unpaid leave. Where there is injury pardon, there's a lot of forgiveness, and we need to ask ourselves, as this virus, stress caused by this virus is concerned, won't we need to forgive? The injuries caused by police, there have been domestic violence. A lot has been reported about domestic violence during this period. So it's important to know. So we need to forgive. And when I talk of forgiveness, it's a lot about letting go of the pain and hurting caused by self and others. Is pardoning, is letting go. And it's important to know it has nothing to do with injustice. This is letting go of the hurting and the pain. And also, where there is doubt, faith, we also as Franciscans need to bring faith or hope to others. People have doubt whether God is in control. by fact the virus is spreading. We need to give hope to people that God is still in control. People have doubt whether the economy will rise again. So we need faith that things are going to work. Whether people will go back to the normal life, will go back to the normal life. So all these causes people not to have faith. Getting a new job, if you lost a job, maybe you have no faith, you are doubting, am I going to get another job? Whether the virus will go or it will be with us. So all these are causing doubt among people. So we need to bring faith to people. Where there's despair, hope. People have despair because of the virus, losing their job, not going back to school, and all that. And we need to bring them hope. I think hope is very important because when there is hope, you become optimistic that things are going to work. Where there is darkness, light. As we are saying that people are getting a lot of information and they're in darkness. They don't know about what is true and what is not true. So as a Franciscan, I think at this period we need to bring peace. We need to bring light to others, and that will help them be able to deal with the stress. Where there is sadness, joy. All these stresses has caused a lot of sadness to humanity or to people. The people we interact with, we need to try as we can to bring joy. Undefined mass, and grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console. So this prayer is talking more about we as Franciscans, what we need to do to others, more than what we expect others to do to us. And first is to console. There are people who are losing their loved ones, there are people who are very sick, there are people who are stressed. We need to console them rather than wanting us to be consoled. We need to understand. We need to understand what they are going through. And that's in terms of sharing our knowledge, listening to them, giving them food, what we have. That means that we understand. And also to to be able to show love to them. And it's through giving that we receive. So we ought to give, and also to forgive others if they have done wrong to us. And it is through dying that we are born to eternal life. And I think this is, we also need to encourage people who have lost that their loved ones, that through dying that they are going to get eternal life. So that comes to the end of my presentation, and just open the floor for any questions or comments you would like to make. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Pius, for this powerful presentation. Very, very well elaborated. They're connected to our Franciscan spirituality, St. Francis of Assisi prayer, connected to our current situation, struggles related to COVID-19. It is really much inspiring. I think all of us here, we've learned a lot, and we are empowered. Yeah, it is true. It is true. It is very important that we go back to our faith, what we believe, who we are, so that we can realize this richness we have as Franciscans, this resource that we have, which can help us to overcome this situation, and also to intervene in society and the communities where we are, which can help us to be strong and to have a just transition from COVID-19 to a new life. I appreciate so much. Thank you. And At this juncture, I would like to invite all members here to come in. They appreciate the presentation of brother. What did you learn? Also, is there any question you would like to ask him or any comment you want to make? Welcome. This is our platform as a family. For those who don't like to speak also, there is a chat box. You click in chat box. Make sure at least you write appreciation to Brother Pius. Also, make your comments if you want there. Thank you so much. Karibu, the floor is open.
Yeah, I want to thank you, Brother Pius.
Thank
You
you.
have really, your talk was very articulated and very clear. And what I've liked in your presentation is the first bit when you talked about that it's not easy to behave abnormally, which is true. When a human being or a person is normal, then you start behaving abnormally. It is very, very contradicting. But as you are urging us, I also want to keep on urging each one of us that we are normal, but in terms of our health, we are abnormal. For us to be able to survive, then we must follow C.S. Kagwe's saying that if you behave normally, COVID-19 will treat you abnormally. I've liked the way you have broken our prayer of peace and creating awareness to all of us that our prayer of peace is a call to us to do to everyone what we need to do to them, not them doing to us. Thank you so much, and God bless you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Mary. The floor is open. If you want to speak, just unmute your microphone. Feel free. Thank you, those ones who are putting chat box your appreciation to Brother Pius. Unmute your microphones. Also tell us what you would like to share with us. Any comments? Any question? New ideas? You want to greet us? Welcome.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, sister.
Greeting from Uganda, Ginger. I'm here with Sister Stella. Say hi.
Hi, sisters, brothers, and sisters.
Yes. I would like to thank everyone, and especially the presenter of the day. Your presentation has been very well articulated, and it has explained everything into details according to the way we are living. And indeed, what I feel from your presentation of today is just a challenge of how to cope up with the abnormal life, which is turned to be normal. I thank you for making us think positive about it. And also, I want to appreciate the way it's like I'm repeating what already some people have already commented, because like I said, it's very articulated. You made what we always take as routine to make a difference. For example, our Franciscan prayer of peace. Now I'm going to appreciate it more, especially in my prayer, and perhaps even try to see how I relate it in my daily life in vis-a-vis to COVID-19. So I want to thank you very much for taking your time to prepare your presentation according to our needs. May God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sister. We welcome other participants, other brothers and sisters. The floor is open. Just unmute your microphone to share with us. At least just appreciation to Br.Pius, who has taken his time to prepare this wonderful presentation. I've seen already some are requesting that they are requesting to have this presentation from Br.Pius. I hope he will share. That's with you, Father, brother.
Yes, I will.
Thank you so
I can
much.
send to your email and then you distribute to the others.
Sure, I will do.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Sister Maureen has written in chat box that it is so true that sometimes we have different views of wearing mask. Example, children who want to socialize cannot be staying in the house. This can cause tension because of different views. At the end of the day, we take care and also understand each other's feelings and fear. Uh, Thank you, Sister Lynn. For many here, life is normal. We seem to be these ones so careful with mask distancing, etc. Thank you. If you can speak, also it's good to put it in chat box. Then we can read for you. But also the mic is there for you to speak. At least we love to hear your voice. It has been long, before the Zoom thing starts. We used to meet together as a family and have fun as we learn physically together. Mhm. Brother Pius, also, meanwhile, you might have some additional ideas related to the talk of today that you can add mm, out of the box. What can you add to this?
Okay.
Is somebody trying to speak?
Morning, Steve. Good morning, brothers and sisters.
Good morning, James.
Thank you, Brother Pius, for a very well articulated presentation this morning to the Franciscans. I think it was almost like a counseling session. You did it so well. You counseled us. And I think one thing that is coming very clearly with what we are going during this COVID time is apart from all what Brother Pius uh, has put across, is that COVID is also coming with a bit of stigma, and I think all the presentation that uh, uh, Brother Pius did, is like it's showing how stressful people are. Now, another kind of stress that is coming is the people who are being stigmatized. I have seen a number of
Yeah.
people who probably quarantined themselves because maybe they had
Yes.
a contact or something. And I can tell of one lady that I know who works somewhere in a shop, and when she heard that one of her good friend has been diagnosed or is COVID positive, she went and asked for time also for what we call a self quarantine, so that she can just make sure that she's okay. And I can tell you, within few days of her quarantine, the whole of her office was information that so and so is already COVID-19. So many messages. And after 14 days, and she was tested, and she tested negative. Uh, the most devastating thing was she was walking near her shopping area, and one matatu tout asked her, "Oh, I heard you are COVID-19 already." Imagine, a matatu tout. Information had moved from her place of work to even the matatu tout who carry her to job in the morning. And
Mm.
that stigma is so much. She's supposed to go back to job on Monday because she has a clean bill of health that she did not contract COVID, but the stigma is already seen. I
Mm.
think we as Franciscans should pray for those people, because I can imagine from Monday how she'll feel, because the people in the same office she's working were the ones spreading the gospel that she's already, herself, when she realized that a friend of hers is COVID-19 positive, she decided to ask for a kind of quarantine, so that if she herself happened to be that, she can protect the colleagues. But now the colleagues started preaching bad gospel. uh, that one is really I have so many experiences of so many people within these few months that I've been home. I have seen even people who turned positive and later negative, and life continues. So I think we need to help these people. And again, one thing that someone was presenting it in the radio, in the TV, and he said that we are misunderstanding, and I think the ministry made us to misunderstand this terminology right from the beginning. The difference between social distancing and physical distancing. I think what COVID-19 is asking for is physical distancing. Physical distancing is distance between one person to the next. Social distancing should not be there in COVID-19. Why? Because right now, what we are doing right now in our Zoom meeting, we are bringing ourselves together socially. So although we are physically distant, we are socializing. So the word in COVID that we are supposed to use so much is physical distancing, where we keep distance between one person to another. But social distancing should be as limited as possible. If like now what Brother Pius has done to us, he has socialized with us. So our distance socially was too short. It was not as wide as it's supposed to be. I think that terminology, the Ministry of Health is one that used that word social distancing, and people are actually putting it into practice completely. Social distancing, if you hear someone is COVID, you don't even make a phone call. Sometimes when someone stay for long without calling me, I call them and I tell them, you know what, COVID-19 is not transmitted through phone. Because once you call me, that means you minimize the social distancing. We can socialize. Physical distance, yes, it is okay. We can keep physical distance as much as possible. But let us socialize. Let us continue socializing. This platform that Franciscan started was very good, but also we have other distancing, because you can call if you hear one of your friend has a contact, if you hear one of you person is having I can tell you, I had a friend of mine 3 weeks ago who was battling COVID, And one thing I did is that I made sure I talked to him every day. And that was minimizing his stress by not distancing him myself with him socially. And later on, after taking care of himself, he went and he was tested again and he was negative. So let us try to imagine that this is not a disease that should actually make us leave our humanity. I like the way Brother Pius has actually brought the prayer that we sing every day. Oh Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. You know, we sing it like a song, but today he has brought a very meaningful meaning to it using this COVID. I mean, it is good the things that we see daily, and we think they are just normal things, and we realize how important they are. We realize how important friendship is. You know, right now, if I happen to go to Tangaza where I work, I would feel afraid to go to Ponsikura to see my sisters and brothers in Ponsikura or in other communities. Why? Because the thing we thought it is abnormal, driving or walking to somebody's gate, has already become very abnormal. So I think COVID-19 is a mind opener to us, an eye opener to us. It is helping us to start seeing things in a different way. But mostly, I think we are going to emerge victorious. So thank you, Brother Pius. God bless you for your very good counseling session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Anybody else? Thank you for those who have contributed through chat box. We should continue encouraging those who have lost hope. We should see God despite of coronaviruses. We should have abnormally despite. Should behave abnormally despite of routine. We should show love by taking care of ourselves and others. Thank you. Thanks be to Pius for that inspiring and encouraging message. I'm in a quarantine here in Nakuru, and this is helpful. Thank you, sister. To get in touch of emotions in this time of pandemic. So I appreciate all who have contributed. But before we close this session, I would love to invite also Brother Pius more few remarks after hearing the comments from some of our brothers and sisters. Then after Pius, we will invite also Father Haman to give his remarks. Then we will invite also Brother Fidelis. Now he's connected. He will give us closing prayer. Then we call it a day. Brother Pius.
For this forum, I'm so grateful for the comments that you have given, and it's good, as you've said, as I have said, that as Franciscans, we try to reach out to others. And when you look at the aspects in the Franciscan prayer, if we show love, if we try to help people to have peace and all that, they're going to cope better. And also, as James has talked about social distancing and physical distancing, to try to reach others. And if we apply that prayer of Saint Francis, we'll be able to reach out to others. And just looking at St. Francis used to reach to lepers, and these are people that were rejected by society, and people who are stigmatized by society. And now those who are infected with the COVID-19, they are the lepers of today. And these are the people that we are called to reach out. And as we can reach out to them through many ways. As James saying, we can call them, we can email them, we can find every day how they are doing, and all that. That's one way. That's one way of reaching to them. And the question I leave to you with you is, we are following Jesus after the example of Saint Francis and Clare. And if Jesus was here today, the question is, how would he treat the people that are infected or affected by COVID-19? And exactly how Jesus would treat them, that's the way we are called to treat them as Franciscans. That's what we are called to treat them as Franciscans. So I'm so grateful, and I would like us to apply this prayer at this time. And also I know maybe if in case somebody needs online counseling, can also be able to contact me. And I think that's one way of helping people as Franciscans. So in case anybody will require counseling, online counseling, I think I'm be able to offer for that. And that will be free of charge. You can offer that through free of charge. So thank you very much, and may God bless you all.
Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah.
So, Father Herman, 100% wisdom from you before we invite Brother Fidelis.
So it came into my mind that we go to the mall, we go to the shopping mall, we travel in Matatus buses. Now we are here gathering, most of us now here in Nairobi. There's also a separation between urban areas, city constellation, and villages. So I know that some villages say, oh no, let us keep away. No visitor from Nairobi should come to visit at this time. So in regions, we have already established some mentalities of where are the dangers, let the dangers not enter us. Yeah, just to mention a bit which effect it has. It goes finally to each corner where we live, where we move. It has something. If we are sensitive, listening, we know what is in the minds of the people. And also the chance, the danger to get infected can be everywhere. But what do we do to protect ourselves with health, with the highest level of a functioning immune system, of proper solid diet, drinking enough vitamins, minerals, sufficient fruits. So that is all. Or I cannot miss to mention the our herbal support. If it is moringa, if it is prunas, if it is especially artemisia, they are created. We have access in the nature, in the creation of our Lord, to stabilize our health system, what is needed, so strongly needed and helpful for our movements. It equips us. It takes even quite an amount of fear, anxieties out of ourselves. So the stimulation is not, thank you for socializing, thank you for being brothers, sisters to one another, meeting, opening, visiting one another, addressing one another, phone, and many ways how we communicate. So this is Everybody has individually to take care for him herself in the best manner possible. So that would be my thank you, Pius, for the stimulation you gave to us. And it is the danger is there, but it is not the last step, and it's not as 100% will be and have to endure and go through the situation of infection. I personally can say myself, I never any fear. I can go everywhere, and I do not fear that I would get in any condition, any. So I take my mask because of the regulation which is requested from me. But personally, I say I don't need any protection. So that's my very personal observation. Don't follow this if you say, oh, that is too lax, that is too not caring enough. So everybody can have his her own way of how do I personally react to this without excluding myself, going in personally permanently in quarantine. It's no need for. We can go to the public, we can appear. The danger is most likely not on a high level as we sometimes expect. That would be my commentary to all the discussion we have. Thank you, Pius, for stimulating us. What can we do? And we help one another in dealing, in sharing, in opening, in listening to one another. Lord, we thank you.
Thank you.
Saturday morning for all the ideas we had in our minds and that were offered to us in the spirit of Francis, in the formulated prayer, what we so often maybe daily pray and say, and out of which mentality we live. Lord, give us a company. Let this prayer accompany everybody of us, strengthen us, guide us through Jesus Christ our Lord. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
May the Almighty God bless us, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Let us go in the peace of our Lord.
Thanks be to God.
It's already clear who is the next topic, next talker. There was Sister Vasilisa was mentioned here once. Is it true? Is it that did she affirm? Did anybody approach her for the next topic next Saturday? Or is someone else, another name mentioned?
Father Herman,
Yeah.
we were thinking that because it is Assumption, it is already of the Assumption, so we could break and go and come back on 23rd so that we can get the contacts people, because many people goes for the Feast of the Assumption.
So to skip the morning.
Yes. But if if that we have to do it, we'll still look for Sister Bibiana. I've not gotten her contact.
There is even, that is now coming up for so many of us, even lecturers or students, the week of exams is coming. And the exam is pressing. So we do, even if we say the next, the month of August we will skip, it's fine.
Okay. So we could do that, because I was also thinking of bringing Father Professor Peter Mbaro.
Yeah.
And this time he is busy with the exams.
Yeah.
So we can still close it and then start in September.
Yeah. We make a break. We make a break.
Yeah.
Make a break. I will even forward this idea, what we have shared now, in what makes us decide on this. We skip all Saturdays in August because of the circumstances.
Okay.
Very good. Greetings to all. And so let us enjoy the Feast of Assumption next Saturday in togetherness and however we celebrate. Nice Saturday, nice weekend. See you in September again.
Yes, but I also wanted to have someone from Uganda. I see sisters who attend here. If you can forward to us the name of one who can present, so that we are moving from within East Africa, it will be very good. The Little Sisters of St. Francis from Uganda, if we have one, we'll be grateful. In September, we'll start with Sister Consolata, who will give us on self-reliance and where to get funding as Franciscans.
there is definitely the Franciscan Family Day, 5th of September. That is already a Saturday. The first Saturday in September is already fixed with a
Yes.
nuncio come, and we will have in a limited, but Capuchin TV will forward and promote, announce this mass, bring the mass to the public. This will be forwarded. We prepare the activities for the day 22nd of August in 10 days' time with our leading team.
Thank you so much, Father Herman. Thank you.
12th of September and the 19th of September and 26th of September, and then comes already October, Feast of St. Francis Transitus. So we go on with our schedule and we do what is most close to the needs and to our concepts.
Right. Thank you. As a reminder also is that September starts with the, on the 1st of September is feasts to pray for creation. We will start season of creation, which ends on 4th of October, the day of St. Francis of Assisi. So during that period also we'll be communicating how we shall celebrate this, connecting to Laudato Si, where people are interested in care for creation. Obviously, we are all interested. Want to take action in your communities, in your church parishes. We will give you updates on this. Thank you so much.
I will definitely continue to forward to the public, to all my email addresses, events and ideas.
Thank you. So now we can wave and say happy weekend to everyone. People in Kenya, in Uganda, in Tanzania, in Rome, people in Kakuma, in Nakuru, Nyahururu. Happy weekend. Yes. I've seen people from Dar es Salaam, Mtoaumbu. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful weekend. Great brothers and sisters. We stand together as family. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Close, all the best. Greet everybody, wherever you are. In Rome or Europe, in Africa, all the best. In Uganda, all the best, all the best, all the best, all the best, all the best. Bye-bye, Sister Melfred.
Thank you, Brother Pius.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.